Great. I'm going to pull up your intake form. And that's been emailed to you too. Did you get that in your email?
What was that?
Did you get the intake form in your email?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure. That was a new thing we figured out how to do, and I wanted to make sure it was working. Okay, great. So where do you want to start today? What's going to be most valuable to start with?
I'm not really sure.
Okay. Do you want me to just kind of lead this session?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, perfect. Well, I loved the inspired action that you took, that you reached out and you just did it, regardless of what the outcome was, that you took that action step and you reached out to someone. That took courage, that took bravery, and that took grit, you know? So I think that's super awesome. Tell me a little bit about your business that you're working on.
So I'm licensed in life insurance. I've been licensed since May.
Okay.
And so I've had my license, but I haven't placed it with a company yet because I have not been ready to write business.
Okay.
And once I place my license, and then I'm charged E&O, errors and omissions, on a quarterly basis. So to avoid having that overhead expense if I'm not writing business, we've held off on filing my license with the company. But the company I'm going to file with is World Financial Group, and their financial backer is Transamerica.
Okay.
So the life license is the first license in moving towards being a financial advisor. And the next licensing step is the Series 6 and 63, which allows you to do things like mutual funds and other similar things.
Okay.
And then the last license is a Series 65, which allows you to work on the investment platforms.
Okay, cool.
So that's kind of my end goal, at least for now. But like the very first short-term goal that I need to do is I need to, so I've, ever since I agreed to sign with the company and get a code for the company, I've had 9 months. And so November 23rd is my 9-month deadline to file. So just under 3 weeks to work with a client to the point of filling the need for them to do life insurance. Is basically what I'm looking for. And we did the state fair back in September. I have a list of 50 leads that I personally spoke with.
Okay.
I have contact information and things like that. And I also have, like, we do our leads list of like top 25, and we do everything through referrals.
Okay.
It's not an online like Geico, give me an online quote type thing.
Right.
We do everything through trust-based relationships, which I really appreciate. But which is also held me back because I don't like to put myself out there to talk to people like that. And I think that's why I've held myself back for so long.
How did it feel when you reached out to someone this morning?
It felt perfectly natural. It was last night. I just had read somebody was so we have INL, and INL has basically put this vaccine mandate in place that says if you're not going to get vaccinated, you're going to be terminated. And so there are a lot of people that have been or will be terminated very shortly.
Right.
And so they're like, well, if, I'm looking for a business opportunity or an investor or something. And I'm like, well, I'm always looking for business partners and would be glad to talk. Just, message me if you're interested. And they messaged me. And so I reached out and we had a conversation. And so, so it was good that I could have that experience, knowing that that was their expectation to talk about the business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And now you've got that evidence that it was natural and you had a good conversation, even though they didn't turn out being interested, it still, you said it felt very natural to you. So that going into another conversation, you can have that same experience again. Allison likes to say, it's always, oh my gosh, now it left my brain. It's always, oh my goodness. Awkward till it's elegant. And uncomfortable till it's comfortable. There it comes. Sorry, that took me a minute. I'm like, so yes, awkward till it's elegant and uncomfortable till it's comfortable. So the more we do it, the better we're going to get at it.
Yeah. And it's not like I don't have to do this by myself. I have business partners that I work with that help train me. Part of it has been the scheduling of my schedule and their schedule. And when we meet with families, so the business format that we use is all about education.
Mm-hmm.
We teach families. And so when we work with families, in this area, most of the time we're working with a husband and wife.
Okay.
And kind of just an unwritten rule is that we meet with both of them, because we don't want to have to repeat information. It's an ineffective use of time to teach only one of them when we have to go back and teach the other one. Right. We don't want the one spouse to teach the other spouse because they're going to mess up what the message was and
right.
all of that. And so being like, I have more availability during the day
Mm-hmm.
because my kids are in school.
Right.
But most people are at work during the day. And so for me to take time away from my family, my kids are home, after 4:00 in the afternoon, and they have activities, and so figuring out how to work around that's the thing I've been butting up against, when I said scheduling.
Right.
How do I figure out how to do this for myself with my own schedule, with not these preconceived ideas of what it should be like or whatever, is how do I work this business? I know it's a business. It's an opportunity that I have to teach people, to help people, but how do I do this and be available when most people are available in the evenings?
Right. Think about it in the aspect that you have office hours from, say, 9 to 5 or 9 to 4, right? I know that at least when we've applied for insurance, life insurance or auto insurance or whatever, I've had to meet within those office hours. So we've scheduled around, like my husband will take his lunch break, or he'll take off an hour, go in an hour earlier, or whatever we have to do to make those appointments work. Mm-hmm. So people will make it work. Because it's like going to the doctor, the doctor's only there from 9 to 5. They do have those after hours, but that's only one doctor or two doctors maybe, but the doctor doesn't expect to have to work from 5 to 10 because that's when people are off of work, right? They expect us to work around them. And so if you set that boundary and just say, hey, these are my office hours. How can we make this work for you? People will get creative. It may be you go first thing in the morning and they go in an hour late. Or how long do your presentations usually take?
Max is an hour.
Okay.
We ask people for 15 to 20 minutes of their time, but then we always check with them, how much time do we really have? Or, when we actually get there. And so it could go, we can keep it that short, or we can, if we're teaching a concept or two, we'll usually not go over an hour.
Okay, cool.
Because we know people's attention spans and things go elsewhere.
Right. And with your business partners, I'm just looking for some evidence. Do you notice, do they work during the day?
So this is a business that can be worked part-time.
Okay.
And yes, there are people that work full-time. The business office manager works during the day.
Okay.
He's also in his 50s, mid to late 50s, and is an empty nester now. And the other partner that I work with has a full-time job at the site, which he may or may not be quitting soon based on the mandate. And he has worked, in the evenings and weekends, but he doesn't have any kids at home right now either.
Okay.
So I appreciate the business model. I have had a lack of interaction with other people like me.
Right.
Even just women who, there are other women on the team, but they're either not as engaged or they're older. They're just not in a similar circumstance. And, 2 weeks ago, I was able to listen to a lady that just reached her $100,000 earning mark.
Cool.
And she was able to do that working part-time and having kids. So that really resonated with me, is that I can do this working part-time.
Can you reach out to her?
Yeah, I think I can. I just have to, I didn't do it at the event, but I think I can get connected with her.
Yeah, I think that would be a fabulous idea. Connect with her and ask her how she did it. She's going to want to share, and she's going to relate to you because she does have those children, and she can give you some tips and tricks of the trade and let you know how she did it. That she would be a fabulous person to connect with. How soon do you think you could connect with her? Like shoot her an email or?
I could probably do it by the end of the week, just depending on how long it takes people to respond.
Okay. Well, I would recommend that you, what was her name? Do you remember?
I have it written down in one of my notebooks.
Okay. I'm just taking notes here, so I was going to put her name in my notes, but it's not a big deal.
Where's my notebook? Yeah, I wrote it down. That was one of my takeaways from that event, was to get in contact with her. And I was in a carpool and it was like a race down and race back, and so I didn't have a chance to reach out to her, but that was one of the things I wanted to do.
Okay. Well, great. Well, I'm going to encourage you to get that email sent out by the end of today so that she has time to respond to you and hopefully get back to you by Friday.
Okay.
And let me know how that goes. Keep me updated, whether it's through the Facebook page or on Facebook Messenger, however you want to share that. I'm excited to see how that email goes. Do your youngest child is 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In first grade or in kindergarten?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten. Okay. So do you guys have full day or half day?
We have half days and she goes in the mornings. So I
Okay.
pick her up at 11.
Okay.
And then my second grader gets done with school at like 2:30.
Okay. And then after your second grader, what's your next age?
Junior high,
Okay.
12 and 14, they get done at 3:30.
Okay. That's quite a jump in different times that they get out of
Yeah.
school. Okay. Do you feel comfortable being able to leave the junior high kids for an hour or so once a week, twice a week, maybe with the younger kids? Or
Oh yeah,
okay, I was gonna say,
I've done that plenty.
okay. And I know you don't want to. I know that that's not ideal. But and then how about their dad? How involved is he?
So he's local in the city. He works until 4. And so I'm in an interesting situation just because he doesn't want to communicate a whole lot with me.
Okay.
Like um like I'm always the one that's reaching out to him just to just to confirm that you have the kids for X, Y, and Z days or things like that. And then even when he has the kids, he just doesn't. To me, it feels like his attitude about having the kids is babysitting,
Mm,
and that's the way it's been our whole life.
okay.
But that's his mindset, and so he doesn't. He just tries to do as little as possible. At least that's what it looks like to me.
Okay.
Like I'm the parent telling the babysitter, the kids have this, this, and this, so take them here, here, and here. Go here, go here. Make sure so and so gets their medicine, and make sure they get their bath, and
Right.
put them to bed, and all of those things. And so, like even just we had an incident but right before my son went into the MTC that he took my son down to Pocatello where his parents live. And I was thinking that they were just in town here in Rexburg. And so when my son messaged me, okay, we're on our way home, I'm thinking, okay, you're 10 minutes away.
Right.
And 15 minutes go by and we're still waiting for them to get home so we can have family prayer. And I'm like, what'd you guys do? Take the long way? He's like, well, we're just coming up on Idaho Falls. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, we went to Pocatello. I'm like, well, that would have been nice to know.
Right.
Just that idea of, oh, by the way, we're going to be in Pocatello, just so you know.
Right.
And I tried to talk to him about it and tell him, it's just a common courtesy to tell me these kinds of things.
Absolutely.
So that it's not that I'm opposed to it. It's just my expectations, like, for example, around you getting home. We were waiting on you to have prayer, and we were waiting and waiting and waiting. He's like, well, I don't want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. So I don't know how to deal with that.
Right.
Because who's going to make him?
Nobody.
Yeah, nobody. I'm like, yeah, I could take you to court and that would cost me thousands of dollars, but what are they going to do?
Right.
You have to communicate with your ex-wife. No, they can't do that. And it's,
Will he text? Does he text better than vocal communication?
it depends.
It depends.
Yeah. Um, I would say at least half of the time when I'm asking him a question over text, he won't respond.
Okay.
Either because he doesn't have time to, or he forgets, or he doesn't want to.
Okay.
So I mean, he will text me, and he most definitely avoids my phone calls
Right.
sometimes, especially if he doesn't want to talk to me. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to get a feel for like how you can utilize him as a helpmate for you to be able to work your business.
Hmm.
Which is why I'm asking these questions. How often does he take the children?
Right now we've set it up to every other weekend, and the weekend for him, to work around his work schedule, it's Saturday at 3 o'clock is when he gets off work. And so they would go and stay with him Saturday evening and Sunday, and then he takes them to school on Monday.
Okay. And
And
he
so,
doesn't, oh, go ahead.
I've talked to him about like helping to pick up kids or transport kids to activities, which most of the time he doesn't have a problem with.
Oh, good.
So he just won't communicate with me about like plans that he has,
Right.
or potential conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. Could you have him one day a week take the kids after school so that you would have one evening a week you could work? Like every Wednesday or even every other Wednesday, he takes the kids for 4 hours from 4 to 8.
yeah, I mean, he could do that. And Wednesdays we usually do have a regular presentation anyway. And so getting him to be involved, I think, would be fine. I just need to, yeah, I just need to set those boundaries, because I think most of the worry, I guess, and holdback that I have is it's almost like having another child who just doesn't want to do anything.
Right.
Because like even a well-paid babysitter would do dishes, or have the kids follow up and clean up their dishes, or clean things up before they go to bed, or anything like that. And he just doesn't do that. And so part of what I need to do is to like start, and this is, I've struggled with this all even when we were married, is getting people into a routine, and the expectation that they need to take care of things and stuff like that. So
Right.
it's not that I'm opposed, it's just seeing all of those to do things, and it's like, oh, that's another hurdle to get over type thing. But if I can I think if I could change how I'm thinking about that doing my appointments on Tuesdays or Thursdays or whatever, is that maybe I could make that work.
Okay. Let
So,
me, before, I want you to get into a place where you feel like you have that overflow coming. I don't know if you remember Laurel talking about how she never gives from her cup anymore. She's always giving from the overflow. That's where we want you giving from too. So how often do you do self-care right now?
I guess it depends on what I consider to be self-care, but like
Self-care should be pleasure. You're enjoying yourself in the moment.
Like I have a massage that I do twice a month that's scheduled in.
Good. How about on a daily basis? Do you do anything daily?
I don't know that I would say that I have things scheduled in for self-care every day.
Okay.
I kind of have gone with the flow. Like sometimes I'll sit and like do a meditation, or
Good.
sometimes I'll listen to a podcast, or yeah, I just
Okay. Can we start simple?
mhm.
Can you start your day in pleasure? Like, so you wake up and the first thing you're going to do is something that brings you pleasure, whether that's doing your meditation, whether that's taking a hot, steamy shower or a hot bath. It could be going for a walk outside. I know it's cold now, so that might not be so pleasurable. It could be, for me, sometimes I just love to turn on some music and bring energy into my body and just dance a little bit. I usually start my day off with a meditation, but I do what feels good to me when I wake up. Okay, what excites me this morning? And I love I call them lobster showers because I want my skin to be red when I get out. I love a hot, steamy shower, and I feel so much better when I've had one. Some mornings you might be running low on time. So I have an exfoliating scrub that I use on my hands, and I'll just take 2 minutes to wash my hands and really experience that exfoliation and the lotion that I'm putting on afterwards and the softness of my skin. That's another way that's simple and quick that you can start your day off in pleasure if that's something you enjoy. Just something that, and it doesn't have to be long, something that's going to bring you pleasure to start off your day, because then you're starting off in feminine. And that gets your whole day going in the stream of flow. And that's what we want for you. And that's a baby step, because I am going to recommend that we take self-care up to 5 times a day, but I don't want to get you there yet. I want to baby step you there. So for a week, I want you starting your day off in pleasure, and I want you to report back to me how you're feeling, how that helps your day flow.
Okay.
Does that sound doable?
Yeah.
And if you're finding yourself bumping up against things to do, start writing down a list of things you enjoy doing. So sometimes, going on a walk is more of a maintenance thing. If you're doing that all the time, it becomes maintenance. We want this to be something that really brings you that pleasure and that experience while you're doing it. So like I said, the walk, for me, exercise isn't self-care anymore, it's maintenance. Washing my face isn't self-care anymore, it's maintenance. But putting on a mask on my face and experiencing the mask on my face and putting a hot steamy towel on my face and laying in my bed for 10 minutes, that's self-care. Do you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
So we really want to go for that experience. And you need more help with that, let me know and we can come up with more ideas. But just start jotting down the things that you like. Keep that list where you can see it, so that when you're feeling that push and that grind, you're like, oh, wait, I know I'm in the masculine. If I do one of these things on my joy list, I'll be able to get back into the flow.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. So our time's just about up. Is there anything else you want to discuss before we hop off the call?
I guess what's a good time? Like I heard Allison talking at the very end of the call about getting into the modules and stuff, which I haven't done yet. How quickly, and I know you want absorption as well, but how quickly should I be looking to get through those first 4 modules?
The quicker you can, better, but I wouldn't say plow through. I would do one a day.
Okay.
So do your goal card, and the goal, it looks like you have your goal pretty much ready. We just got to write it in the form that she'll tell you to in module 1. But sometimes the goal module will take a couple of days for people to figure out what their goal is. But I think you're pretty clear on what you want your goal to be. So unless that changes when you listen to the module, we'll stick to what you have. We'll just write it in a different form.
Okay.
But then there's the experiment, there's the beautiful and suffering states. Those ones, you could probably even do 2 and 3 in the same day. And then when you get to module 4, that one may take a couple of days as you're writing the libs and getting out help. People usually take quite a bit of time on that one.
Okay.
So really it's what you're feeling, and if you can get through it, if you've got the capacity, the brain space, and feel like you're getting what I usually say is go through the first 4 as fast as possible. And then after you've done your libs, go back and re-listen to modules 2 and 3. Because module 1, you'll already have ground down. So. Because we want to get those libs in as soon as we can.
Okay.
And stay close, through Facebook Messenger, email. I don't know what your preferred method is. Do you prefer email or Messenger?
Messenger.
Okay, perfect.
I did have a question,
Yeah.
and maybe I just haven't seen it, about the Rise Up Facebook group.
Did you not get an invite?
I'm not sure if I missed it. I'm gonna go look right now.
Okay.
This week, and I think it's just because of the online retreat too that I feel like this is all I'm doing.
Right. Let's see. Okay, you should have an invite now. I just sent you one. I thought we invited you the other day, so you might have 2 invites. But I just sent you another one. You should be able to accept that and get in the group.
There we go.
Oh, good. Perfect.
And the Rise Up calls are every.
So this month is a little different
because of Thanksgiving.
Yes, Thanksgiving and vacations. So usually it's the 2nd and the 4th week, but because of Allison being on vacation and Thanksgiving, it's this week and next week. So we'll have another call next Wednesday, and then we won't have another one till the 1st week of December.
Okay.
So great. All right. Anything else that you need before we end this today?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, perfect. Stay close. I will get this video rendered and emailed to you within the next 24 hours. So you'll have it to refer back to if you need to.
Okay.
Okay. And I can't wait to hear how the email goes.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Andrea.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.